Now, Kenya will increase funding to projects that help in climate adaptation as the country seeks to minimize the impacts of climate change. President William Ruto says the country will deepen investments in renewable energy, reforestation and electronic transport system. Ruto spoke on the sidelines of the climate change conference in Egypt.
Climate adaptation is now becoming a popular initiative when it comes to dealing with issues around climate change. Many countries around the world have embraced this concept in a bid to help their communities to adapt to the new realities of changing weather patterns, and Kenya has not been left behind. Climate adoption is becoming a critical conversation in the world in a bid to help affected countries invest in more climate-resilient projects. In Africa, the continent requires 3.5 trillion shillings for climate adoption, though only 620 billion shillings is mobilized. Kenya, which is one of the countries most affected by climate change in Africa, says it will inject billions of shillings in major climate-resilient projects.
The same way we have managed to push loss and damage into the agenda, and it has been recognized, I am very confident that Africa's special circumstances will be next in line to be recognized, to be appreciated, and so that we can have a comprehensive conversation about climate change.
This will involve overhauling the country's energy infrastructure to make it more efficient, plant 10 billion trees in the next 10 years while transitioning to renewable energy. Speaking on the sidelines of the ongoing climate change conference in Egypt, President William Ruto has appealed to development partners to work with Kenya in realizing its long-term green dream.
We are also exploring opportunities with the private sector in carbon markets, in carbon credit, and I am confident that finally the whole world is going to come to terms with the existential threat that we face as humanity, not necessarily as Africans, and be able to take the right steps.
The adaptation agenda is one of the comprehensive global plan to rally the private and public sectors to adopt a set of 30 adaptation outcomes that are required by the year 2030 across food and agriculture, water and nature, and infrastructure systems in a bid to reduce the impact of climate change in the world.